Good morning. Welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee number 57. If this is your first time, this is our weekly show where I talk about some rubbish. There's some silly chat in the sidebar, occasional guinea pig cameos, and of course the news and happenings from Bad Squido Games, which is my company, from the previous week, and what will be coming next week. It's very informal, so come say hello. Do the old like and subscribe malark. I was looking at my subscribers earlier and they've gone up loads. Yes, get in there. We're on like the far end of 700s. Might get to 1,000 soon. Good arbitrary number. Yes. But that's cool because that means the more people see the videos, the more I put out as well. So that's also good. I haven't prepared my speeches today. The stuff is covering the pigs, so let's put that there so you can see some background pigs. So it will be a lot more rambly than usual, probably. And almost did a yawn there, but I didn't. That is, of course, Danny DeVito holding one of my masks from the wonderful All Rolled Up. He's kind of just, I like having him around. It's fun. Danny DeVito. If there's ever a trade show again, he'll definitely be there. Probably a bigger trade show because he might get thrown out of one of the other ones. Like after closing time, they go, "Off you go, sir." So I have no idea where to start this week. There's no fancy lights, but there is quite a bit of natural light, so I'm hoping that'll work. I was late setting up, as you may have noticed, and that's because I'm back on the Animal Crossing. So I've decided that's it today. It's going to have to go away for a bit. I was allowed it as a treat because I did lots and lots and lots of work. But this week, I haven't actually done that much work. And I will tell you why. Oh yes, my voice is going there as well. Morning, Troy. Morning, everybody else who's just stand up. Sorry you didn't get your own shout out like Troy, but I have a printout of Troy's face in my garage, and I think if it could be very, very odd, but it's not because it's Troy and he's smiling and he made it and it says you can do the thing, but I've put it up where my garden tools are, so I always I always thank my garage Troy. Troy, you say it's odd, but you made the meme. What else was I supposed to do? Not print it out and put it in my garage. You should have your own. Everyone should get one. It's because I'm odd. You are very odd. Well, yes, I have some Gregor update. He might be about. Dude. Oh, there is his ass. There he is. A Gregor butt. So where shall I start? I'll start with the Gregor news because I know you've all been following that. So Gregor is my oldest lad. He is 6 very soon, imminently. So I'll have to do him a nice birthday cake, which of course guinea pigs can't have cake. So I'm going to make him one out of peppers and carrots and things just to be a bit silly. 6. So I mentioned the last few that I was pretty suspicious that he had arthritis, but the vet had given them the all clear. But the main vet that I have, who's the guinea pig queen, she's off on maternity leave, so it was just the other vets. And guinea pigs are quite strange animals, so even if you're a really good vet, you might not notice things because they're just weird. I think they don't see them that often as well because a lot of people don't sort of bother taking them in. Will he get a telegram from Queen Pig? That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I feel like you should. So there's a lot of uncertainty about their age spans, but 6 to 8 seems to be good ages. I saw someone else say 4 to 6. So I guess it's kind of that, like, in my head, 6 to 8's a good age for a pig. So I've told him that he has to do at least another 2 years and maybe become a world record pig. But he's not been himself, and it has given me a bit of fear of his own mortality, because obviously it's sad when animals aren't with us forever. I've been like, oh, my boy. But I took him on Friday. We demanded to see the manager with the aid of Karen, although I can't see her currently. She's hiding. And we went to see the head of the practice because I was very insistent that he get this arthritis diagnosis. And they did, and they were all very good. And he's now got a massive pot of drugs. And I'd been giving him drugs myself, which probably not supposed to do, but I think I'm allowed because I'm a guinea pig pro. So I've got a whole like, medicine cabinet of stuff. So I'd been giving him some painkillers and he'd perked up. And then I was distracted by the low view account there. What's going on? Where is everyone? All in bed. Yes, so I got prescribed the same painkiller that I'd been giving him at the same dose that I'd been giving him. So I was like, yes, gonna be a vet. But they said there's a worldwide Metacam shortage right now. Who knew? So Metacam's a very common all animal sort of drug. Dogs and cats take it as well. So they could only sell me the massive pot of it. But that is apparently 4 months worth. So he's basically... He's a bit wobbly. He's got his big old toe, and I think he's in a bit of pain. So he gets now every morning he gets his shots of painkillers for the rest of his life, I imagine. But that's fine. I can do that. He's already addicted to them, so it's not like I have to wrestle him. Oh, the light's gone. Doo-doo. Yeah, it's not like I have to wrestle him down. I just sort of wave the syringe and go, "Oh, druggy drugs," and he comes up to me. So. It's quite easy, but it does mean that I've got another pig dependent on me, getting little egg flashbacks. So every day I have to do it. So obviously, if I have to go somewhere, I'm gonna train Andy how to do it, which will be an interesting experience. That'd be fun. But yeah, he's an old boy, but at least he's better now. Well, he's got his pain management. And they said if he still doesn't seem to be much better, then they could give him more drugs. Which is interesting. But he's not been moving very much. But as soon as you give him drugs, look at him. Woo, he's out and about. I've also got some cucumber to rile them up. I put some strawberry in just now, which is why they're all being very excited. They can't have too much cucumber because it's mostly water, but they can have a bit. So I will I'm going to show you some of that. I should probably talk about Squido too. I've got lots of things to show you. I've got lots of resin casts, and I have some metal casts that I need your opinion on. Not the quality of course, but what the plan with some of them should be. Anyone gonna reach? Can you see? Yeah, okay. Come on, Sponge. I'm trying to get Sponge to do the giraffe thing. Oh, that was brilliant. That was prehistoric. Carol said was waiting, never started, then saw a separate live chat window. Or maybe it might be because I was just late putting it up or something. So I was heavily into the Animal Crossing. I kind of demolished half the island and decided to rebuild. It looks amazing, but oh, there we go. Oh, that's the first sponge giraffe we've ever had. Oh, Sponge, you must get some rewards. I'm sorry I didn't help. She's stolen Carol's anyway. There you go. Never seen Sponge do a giraffe. They're learning. They're evolving. Dangerous. Hello, Mr. Greg. Can I have one of your own up there? Are you stealing the babies now? Sponge has been very nice to him. Hello, everyone's come along. Don't worry, I will talk Squido very eminently, not just guinea pig. But look at them, they're so cute. They make me all the happies. There's a Karen at the back. Oh no, she's hidden by the stuff. There's a Karen. Where could I put the stuff so you can still see it? On the edge. Hello, Spongelet. There you go. Right, everyone's got some. That's the important bit. We'll see some fights. Oh, they're fighting already. Well, they're not fighting. They're just stealing each other's food because they're very unethical pigs. So this week in Bad Squido, so last week I mentioned that I was coming off the hard stuff talking about drugs. Yeah. I was building that up like it was a big drug problem that I have. I did. I had a problem with coffee. So I came off coffee last Friday, I think it was. And I was preparing for these people online, especially on Twitter. You're all suggesting I might actually die. But I was doing all right. I was like, yep, I'm fine, no coffee. And then I think by Tuesday, I just went, oh, there it is. There's that crash. And yeah, I just got those immense headaches and slept so much. Yawn now. Worldwide yawn, everyone. So I was in my prediction that may happen. I didn't plan much to happen this week, because then I thought I'm just going to get depressed if I don't get through my tasks, which is always that sort of like, oh, I'm a failure. So I didn't plan very much, and that was handy because I did kind of die Tuesday and Wednesday, and kind of have been the rest of the week. But I feel like there's nothing. I feel like there's nothing left now. I'm evolved. So it's like I had this long hibernation and then I came out like, oh, I can see the daylight again. But I also quit sugar. So the two at once was probably not the best idea. But I have since indulged in a bit of sugar. But I think that's okay. So I met up with some friends, and obviously when there's cake and stuff, you're gonna eat it. And it was very delicious. But I'm back on the yawning. That's what I'm back on. I'm trying to get these sort of things out of habit. So yes, I can go meet up with a friend, have some cake, but I don't need to have cake every single day. And I know this may come across really boring, but the whole point of this Annie being a weird cutting out of all the things is to stabilize the brain and then help that Squido, because I'll be able to get more done, because I'm just so up and down, which is also just me being mental, is not the correct term, but yeah, suffering from a few different mental illnesses, so that happens anyway. But if I can at least somewhat flatten the curve through diets and that sort of thing, that's going to help. So I'm kind of quite invested in that, and it's quite exciting. I've been eating very well too, so that's also great. So I'm hoping I'll start seeing a bit more result in the next sort of couple of weeks and just be a bit more positive. But I kind of what was the wrong link? I don't understand. Oh no. Sorry. I just need to check. Maybe I did actually. Oh, I'm the worst person ever. That might be that's why nobody's here. This is me trying to learn how to manage YouTube. I blame YouTube, but it's actually me. Did I put a pre-scheduled? I'm just going to check now, because that's awful if I did, and that would totally explain. I'm sorry. That's because I was actually really planned ahead. But I assumed that I hadn't planned ahead. Oh, what a silly willy that I am. Oh. Hang on. Sorry, he just gets to watch me go, what have I done? I'm just going to take that down. Oh no, there's a whole bunch of people. I'll just put a little link to this one in there. Oh, no! Has somebody put a link in there? Nope. Sorry. Just do that. Share that button. Is that the right button? Yes, it is. Hey, thank you. I'll just whack that there. Sorry. Right, sorry about that. I actually was far more prepared than I thought I was, because I ran up going, I said I was going to schedule the things a week in advance and I haven't done it. And I had. So yeah, sorry about that. So I sort of let myself have a bit of not a week off, but a far more chilled week. But I've chilled too much now, so as you can tell, my brain's going down a bit. I've seen an experienced YouTuber set up 4 zombie streams before now, and we won't go into it, Luke and Twitch. That's entirely my fault. That one, that's me. But I'm getting there. I'm starting to figure out how the scheduling works and all that sort of stuff. So I'll get there eventually. Yeah. So I've kind of just allowed myself to do whatever this week. Obviously, I've been still quitting all the things I'm quitting, apart from my little sugar fun, which I'm back. I've removed any. It's all gone now. But yeah, I've kind of allowed myself to sleep as much as I need to, and I have been playing loads of Animal Crossing because that's good for zero brain. But I feel like I'm slipping back out of my productivity. So now I'm clear of the caffeine and stuff. I will be giving Andy back. I give Andy, my housemate, the Switch, so it's out of my reach. So he's going to get that back, and I'm going to go back into full work mode. So I'm trying to do a bit of work hard, play hard. So I'll go work mode. I'm doing all the work stuff, and I get loads more done. And then I'm in non-work mode and do Annie stuff, and it's fine. So I think I'm trying to I called it yesterday defragging my time. I was like, ooh, that's clever. It's probably already a term, but I quite liked that. So instead of this, like, do a bit of work, check Facebook, do a bit of work, do some other chill, watch a show, do some work, and you're kind of just doing all this. Whereas if you just go, yeah, this is the work mode, and try and get more done in less time. So I can this whole like quest to get myself a life. There's that. So yeah, that's all excellent. So I'm definitely on the rambling. I've got a few annoyances as well that's kind of put me off working this week. My laptop's not well, but it's not a laptop anymore. So I can't just go, let's get my laptop out, do a bit of thing, put it away. I have to plug in a keyboard, a mouse, and then I've got to plug in a USB extender adapter so I can put extra USB slots in there. And then it's so hot that I have to raise it up onto one of the fan beds. So it's not even one plug. I've got so much going on that it can't just be a laptop. And I kind of want a new laptop, but it's the justification. We're like, well, it works. It's actually putting me off working though. So I'm trying to find a solution. Obviously, the funds aren't great. So then part of me was like, could I leave that at work and get just like a tiny netbook or something for the house? I don't know. So I've kind of got to figure that out too. Because yeah, this is not workable. This is not a laptop. There's some talk about a tech grant for small to medium businesses, which I should find out about tomorrow, I think. So I'm intrigued, but there's a chance that a tech grant could sort that problem out, which would be nice. That would be very nice. So in Bad Squido, we've got lots of a plate of resin for you. So these have been cast in what would seem like superb time, but remember I book all these things in before anyone goes, how come Annie gets her stuff cast up really quick? It's because I book. So these new, I think I showed you off the gardening set, the witches, all that sort of thing. These are the test casts that have arrived, and I will not go and show you every little bit because it's just not that doable. But I'll try and show you some of the highlights. So these are the tests. I have approved them, and they're all. I had them on my table, and then I went, "Oh, I've got to move them." So they're all in one big pile of stuff. So I'll show you some bits anyway. Let's see if it works. So this is part of the gardening set. Oh, we were so close there. Come on. No, I'm going to give up on this. So I'm in quite an agitated mood. It's partly this blooming laptop and yeah. So I don't want to keep going like that for a while. But before I go, I'll get the camera out and I'll do a little pan. I could do it now, actually. Just the light's gone as well. But I'll show you, so you'll be able to see some of the bits. There's the picnic and food set. I need more food because they're just so good. Gardening tools. I'm just sort of laying them out, and then I'll do you a nice little tour. Yeah, I think I'm good from all the coffee stuff. I think I'm getting agitated because I haven't achieved this week, which is so bizarre. But it's that sort of inbuilt have to do all of the stuff. Who wonders if it's auto-focus on Danny? Well, I wouldn't blame it. Right. Let's show you the rest of my mess. So the autofocus is ass, but show you a bit what's in this tray. It just doesn't seem to want to focus, does it? It's like we could look at stuff, or we could not. Oh dear. I can see some of my gubbins. Ooh, what's in those bags? So there's a very crappy look. Oh, that almost focused. Ta-da. Anyway, there it is. Look at that. Oh, it focuses on super close up. I'll be damned. That's what I was trying to show you. It's a little potting thing. There's tiny little gloves on, gardening gloves. Oh yeah, track ball girl. There's some bits. There's some of the dead livestock. Some potatoes in a crate. Something upside down. Various farmy equipment. The witch one isn't ready yet, so that'll be coming soon. But these food bits are just like immensely good. Ooh, where am I going now? Right is left, up is down. There you go. But nobody has seen this, so even though the quality's a bit wobbly. Ooh, that's the hammock there. You are the first people in the world to see this. So there are 4 or 5 different packs all sort of mixed in there. I'll get back to my face now. Distract you all with my face. But that, this. Look at that. So that's all one piece. You've got the little picnic basket. Little sausages and stuff. Ooh. Ooh. It's cool, eh? So there's all sorts, little bits of gardening's going on. Doo-doo. That's me. Here I am. Bananas for scale. Paul's been playing quite a lot of Squido Scenics. Looking forward to using them in a game. Yes, take lots of photos. I like seeing them out in the wild. The mug of the day is After the Apocalypse again, because I had the salute dream again. So I've mentioned before that all the traders pretty much have these various salute panic dreams where everything goes wrong. I've had 2 apocalypse ones now, where it's suddenly salute next week, but it's also a festival and nobody turns up because there's no notice. So yeah, a salute in September in a field with no advertising. That's the stuff I have nightmares about. So yeah, apocalypse and salute were on my mind when I picked the old mug up this morning. Oh yes, Carol, ox cart with supplies in the back. That would be very good. I've got these metals, which I'm now knowing how rubbish it is at. I made a crinkle noise. Hello, sponge. These are some miniatures I purchased many years ago. You may recognise them. They came with the My Last Sunrise stuffage. You want a boop? I'm going to give you a boop. Oh. A little nibble. A little nibble. Very proud of Sponge and her first giraffe. The giraffing are cool when they stand on 2 legs. I don't know how it started, but I'm just going to pour these. I'll show you them in their blurry glory. Many of you will have seen her, because I actually got her painted up by Paul Cubbin years ago. She's another of the vampire hunters. She's sculpted by Gary Morley. And I don't know why I didn't release her. I couldn't figure out, when I was putting things together in packs, I think I couldn't quite figure out how she goes. Yeah. But you might have seen her. I've used her as a scale model sometimes where it's next to terrain and stuff. But yeah, she's to be released. I think she might have even gone in a mould. She's gone in a mould with an unreleased friend from Herobito, who's it's like a teen wizard figure that I just never, for some reason, never released. I think it's, things that I'd bought between house moves or something like that. And they just never had their time in the release schedule. I'm so sorry. So I've got these cultists. And naturally, I want to... The thing that stopped me releasing them immediately is that the sculptor, they're... So this was the range I bought off somebody that ended up becoming My Last Sunrise. So these were a set of multi-part cultists. And the weapons are poisonous, but to show that they're poisonous, the sculptor, Gus Kearns, who I love, he's very cool, but he's put little holes in the weapons to make them look like they're covered in poison. But when models are cast bad, they get a thing called pitting, which looks like that. So I'm a bit unsure to release them in that state because people will go, "Oh, these are bad casts," when they're not. It's intentional. So something I've had a plan for years, but we're only starting to get around to sorting it out now. Is just to smooth off the, put some milliput, sand it down, so they're actually just standard weapons. So this is one of the dudes, although they are very gender neutral. So it was from the Vampire Slayers Club, that's what that is. So that's one of them. And they're these just generic sort of pulp baddies. Just look. So that's like the leader. Abolish gender. And then they have no arms, so you get these generic key bodies. But a whole load of different weapon options. Have this piece of blur. So yeah, we've got a little hand hook, a gun, knife, sword. Actually, it's not as many of the weapons with the little pitting, well, not fake pitting on as I thought. Rifle, pistol, crossbow, and you can just put them into whatever you want. So I'm just figuring out the best way to do this. So my caster's up for the idea of just assembling them and releasing them as single piece. So they're single piece various packs. But so I've got them here to play with, basically, to sort of assemble, have a look at how they go. I kind of like the idea of the multi-part, but it obviously massively puts the price up because of the mold space, all that sort of malark. Oh, this is wicked. I've just put... So see, this pole arm is poisoned, which means it's got holes poked in it, but I'm going to remove the holes. So that's one of them just with the hands on. So I've got my hatred of multi-part minis. So I'm just looking at them now. But I like that it's nifty that you can make them how you like. But yeah, that's the thing everyone's trying to balance, isn't it? You want to make them cost effective so they're a decent price for you, but also cool. So I'd be interested to know if you'd prefer them as one piece pre-built up options, so they would have all, if not most, of the different options, or the plain bodies and all the different bits, but more expensive. So I need to figure out how that... Because I could also... So if I put them... Oh, I loathe multi-part metal. I absolutely loathe it. But there is some good customization choice here, which is that sort of because they could have the bodies in one mold, the weapons in another, and then just make all the different packs out of, the way they get put together different. But say that'll put the cost up. I do like the idea of just them pre-assembling them, then getting them cast up like that. So they're just one pieces. But if they are, is there any sort of preferred way of having them? Any packs, or just sort of assorted weapons, or a pack of people with the same weapon, or So that's an interesting point from Dave. Fadrin. That maybe I'll have a pack that doesn't have guns in and a pack that does. Yeah, these are. It was back in the day. I think I'm definitely now. Well, I said earlier I'm definitely on the doing a multi-part, but yeah, a single piece is way cooler, and they all make some pretty solid figures. So I might see how many different sort of ways I can assemble them to make them, look like a larger pack, maybe. body packs and weapon packs would be pretty rad. I like the idea of multi-part when it's bigger joints. Yeah, it fits, but it's still, yeah, I'm totally biased by my own loathing of multi-part. So I think I'm just going to have a bit of a play around with them and then have a little look. But that's an upcoming release, which is cool. My war correspondence from Alan arrived, which are so cool. But they're waiting on Shane and Daniel for some bunches of sculpts, so they've got some friends in the master mold because they need around. I think I said this before. I don't know why. I'm kind of interested in just teaching you stuff. But yeah, that goes in a mold. You can fit 16 of those in a master mold of generic straight up, straight down sort of thing. So I've got my free ball reporters, but it's the same price when you use a mold. It's the same price whether you have one person in it or a whole full mold. So they're just waiting for some friends to come before they get molded. The stock arrived on Friday, so I took Friday off because I needed to take Gregor to the vets and use that as an excuse to take the day off. Maybe I'll take today off as well. I don't know. I'm torn between this. I've had too much time not working, and also maybe I should chill a bit longer. Not sure. Yawns. I think every time I do this, I think, remember when I yawned that time, and then I yawn. So what have I got arriving? So yeah, those 3 war reporters are waiting on some friends before they can get cast. So they're probably, I don't know when to do releases anymore. There's normally this whole like, let's do some planned releases, and then in this apocalypse I kind of just want to release stuff as soon as I've got it. Ratty says, how often do you replace molds? I don't know off the top of my head. The casters occasionally will mention, oh, we're going to have to remold this one. And I go, okay. But I don't take so much notice. I think it depends on the model. So if you've got quite a simple model, it can go for a whole load of spins. Whereas if it's one with sort of, it's a bit trickier. Say ones where like the nurse is helping the dude out and it's all in a one piece, or yeah, things like the Nuggy, those more complex, or maybe it's with spikier. Once when you're casting, just one time you do it can cause a tear, and it happens more often in resin molds than it does for metal. But once that's torn, it's done basically. So the sort of riskier the model, the more times it'll have to be remolded. So I don't know. I know it's in the sort of like the hundreds of spins, and I know different casters will brag and be like, I can get this many spins. So I think it's one of those sort of hard to figure out numbers, because people will be like, I can spin 2,000 times before it works. But definitely a fair amount you can get out of it. And that's spins as well. So it's not 200 casts. Say this dude's in a mold by himself, one spin will get you sort of 16 of the guys. So yeah, so if you had 10 spins of him, then it would be right. And it would be 160 guys. So you can see why some of these molds will never get replaced, because if they just don't sell as much. That's all very interesting. Troy says, you're supposed to replace torn molds. Those aren't infinite for resin miniatures. That's it. So that's part of like where our resin prices might be a bit more expensive than some other people's, but we replace them as soon as there's anything that's a bit sort of not perfect, really. And I do see other companies, or occasionally I'll buy something, and because I know now, I can go, oh, dudes, why didn't you replace that? Why didn't you replace that ages ago? And I can note the sort of tear outs and things like that. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? But it's obviously, but then if you're paying not so much for a mini, it's not quite as bad, because they're going to push that mold for as much as they can. But then if they're selling them for cheap, then it's that sort of way up. But I'm very much committed to very high quality, because I think that's the way to go. As things that you want to be known for. There's a thread, there's 2 threads on that Adventure Forum of links, and one of them in each section, and it will say cheap resources for blah and quality resources for blah. And I'm always way more wanting to get into the quality resources rather than the cheap. I mean, if they work out like a nice price, that's always a bonus. But the word cheap's always, you think of those, monopose. After I've been going, I love monopose, but you know what I mean. Those sort of dodgy, very lead contents minis where all the conversions are just like one guy has a moustache, the other guy has a hat on. I don't want to be that sort of cheap miniatures. Good quality and fair price. If you want that, get down to Bad Squido Games. So that's what I'm going for. I like talking about the process a bit. I think I said before that because I had so many issues with very different casters and things like that in the early days, that I ended up learning a lot. So I learned a lot more, I think, than a lot of other sort of companies, because you kind of just go, here you are, casting, and that's how it should be. Here you are, casting department, deal with it, make my models, and they go, here you are. And that's all fine. But because I had so many different problems, it felt like each time there'd be this whole new thing. So I had to learn about how it all sort of works. So now it's all what's the word? Yeah, I just know so much, mostly on what not to do. Daniel says, I love cheap minis as much as I love quality minis. That's it. There's that sort of time and place. And yeah, if you want a million of something for an army, there's always places for that. But I like to be into the quality land. I don't want anyone to go, oh, the Bad Squido ones are all right if you've just got to milli put them and like cut bits off, because I see that when people go, oh, these minis aren't bad, you've just got to massively spend loads and loads of time resculpting them for them to work. Like, that's not a compliment. Yes, Troy is good there. Going in knowing what you're paying for is the big difference, making an informed choice. Yeah, so if something seems pretty obvious what it is, there's some old figures, they're what's it, yeah, if you see someone, you go, they're old figures, they're cheap, they're a bit derpy, but that's what they are. And if you go, these are more expensive, but they're super nice, maybe character models, whatever. But there's obviously some as well where you'll go, yeah, it's when you think something's the other way around. So if you think something's particularly, and it's more expensive, and you go, oh, I'm really excited about this, and then it lands, and you go, there's holes in the resin, and there's a chunk of something on the guy's face. That's not what you want. So I'm aware that I'm in that quality land, so I never want to let you down with that. So I'm always very particular. But that's what makes us ace. One of the many things that makes us ace, of course. My little ramble and his TED talk. But yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, and I like talking about it because I think, well, I didn't have a clue till I got into this how models were made or anything like that. And I think it does make you appreciate them more. And I did used to think that models were only 30p, and there's always that guy who goes, I know that a rhino only costs 3 pence to make. I'm like, well, it doesn't. And yeah, there's way more to it than that. I had a bit of a talk about that. Oh yeah, it was on Brush Builders Union podcast. So have a look up that. I'm on the latest episode. And I had a listen back to it, and it's pretty good, though I say so myself. It's quite an interesting chat about just sort of about the origins of Bad Squido and all that sort of stuff, which was nice. It was nice to talk about something a bit different rather than being a woman, which tends to be a lot of them. So that one and the Behold Her podcast, which I've been on recently, I very much recommend, because we just talk about a few different angles, which is good. What is it? Yeah, production thingy. Models being made. Yeah, just the different processes. I had no idea. So now, obviously, I find it really interesting, and because I had to go into it way more than I should have, but that's still it's now an interesting sort of thing. And I can like to look at other people's, obviously in private, because I'd never badmouth another company, but I do kind of like looking at stuff and going, oh yes, I can see exactly what they've done wrong there, rather than just like, oh, this is a bad model or something. Like, yeah, or like, yeah, they've overworked that mold, or that bit's been sculpted bad, or that's too flat. That doesn't have to be that flat. And I like that I can just assess it. I don't know, feel clever maybe, just for going aha. But also on the flip side of that is that I like looking at models and going, no way, how did they even like what? And that's also cool because then I can go, oh my god. So Anvil, one that springs straight to mind, Anvil Industry. They do resins, and the quality of that are always amazing. So I used to stock them, and then I'd sort of sell one. So as I'd be putting it into the package, I'd be going, "Whoa, these are good. These are good." Sorry, doodle-doo. Yay! Thanks, Sean. Sean, who is Little Ninja Painting, has been doing some incredible vignettes, little dioramas with our minis. So you should go have a look. And I'm interested in what he's doing next. No pressure. But the evacuee might have to be my favourite one so far, because it's just a lot of what's it? Emotion in it. It's just a scene. It just looks like a scene from a film, and I really like that. And that's a big thing coming from me, where normally I'd like the one that I'm in, because he did a very good one of SOE Annie. But yeah, the evacuee one was even more amazing. So what else are we working on? What time are we on? Oh, I should head off shortly, and we'll talk about the stuff. What else have I got? So I've got those things come out next week. What am I doing? Have I got anything planned for next week? It's bank holiday, remember, so there won't be post going out tomorrow, so there will be on Tuesday. So my current plan is to work from home today and tomorrow, but I don't know. So I'm in this, I don't know whether to just chill or to go, no, Annie, fight it, do some work. But I'll definitely have some breakfast before I decide any of that. I'm gonna yawn. I still haven't launched the Redbubble shop, so hopefully that'll be in this week. And I guess loads of the stuff that I was supposed to do this week. I'm just thinking if I have anything cool that'll be arriving to show you. I need to photograph a lot more of the terrain, or put the terrain photos up, because I've had some immensely good ones from Painting Nights, who's in the comments. Thank you, Carla. They are so nice. And I just, been getting quite a few painted models in the post at the moment, which is very exciting. So I had a bunch from John Morris as well. Oh, that was funny. I tried taking photos of them, and the photos were all coming out rubbish. And I was just, again, was not in the mood. And I've got a good setup at work for taking them, but it's very natural light dependent. But I thought that the lighting was good. And you know how you see minis, and then you photograph them, and it's almost like they get more contrast or something. So where your eye makes, the face go from sort of like nice light to highlights to dark a bit, and then you photograph it, and it's like you can see a brush stroke there that's like, here's a blob. Like, but it doesn't look like that. It was doing that on them all. I was like, ah. But I left it a bit later on in the week and took them all again in the same place, slightly different lighting, and they're lovely. So I need to edit all of those. I've got all the kit to do that, so I should really, because I took it home. So they can get edited. So I've got the latest load of SOE ladies painted up by Mr. John Morris. Yes, sorry, just looking at those comments there. So that, when you get an agitated Annie, it's no good. Agitated girl. I have, before we head off, if there's any other questions, pop them in there and I will get them out. So I have Saturday night, bad film nights. The Stuff we watched last night. Annie gave it. The Stuff. Are you eating it, or is it eating you? I very much enjoyed this. The quality of the films has been going up. There's a mysterious new taste sensation taking the country by storm. But when it begins to outsell even ice cream, a coalition of food moguls hire an industrial saboteur to uncover the secret formula. But it's very, very addictive, the stuff. We must all eat the stuff. It's very fun, and if you have access to it, you should go and buy it because it's ace. It's probably on YouTube or something. I know a lot of those sort of old films are about. I might watch a film. Maybe I'll watch a film. Now I've got everything plugged in. I've also, I have to have a speaker as well. So it's just this like wire land. And then the things that aren't wires will go bloop, bloop, bloop. We've run out of battery. And I'm just like, this is so stressful. Gary, yes, because you missed the start of it. Gregor has gone to the vets. He's got diagnosed with arthritis. And they said they've given him a whole bunch of painkillers, so hopefully he'll be taking that every morning forever. Well, for the rest of a Gregor's life. You can see him there. That's his little cloud body. Hey, fella. But he's been a lot better on the painkillers. I was giving him it anyway. I just happened to run out before I'd been to the vet, and the painkiller makes such a big difference because he's obviously in so much pain that he was just sort of sitting about sad, whereas on the drugs he's out and about. I know he's currently just sat there, but he's out and about and getting his grub and just generally a bit happier. So they said if he seems to go down a bit more, then I can go back, get him some other sort of drugs or increase the dose, that sort of thing. So as much as it's a bit sad that my old lad's all arthritic, he's got some help as well. So, and he's got his lovely friends in there, and he's got me being his drug dealer. You say in the comments there, it's when you post the photo that you see the mistake. The story of my life is me slightly editing or cropping a picture, then posting it from my phone, then realising I've posted the wrong one. Delete! One of Carol's Westies is arthritic. He's on the same drugs, I believe, the Metacam, the wonder drug of pets. But it's nice to know that I could have done something as well, because I know a lot of people would have just gone, oh, look, he looks old. Oh, well, and not really pushed it, especially once the previous vet said he was fine. So I'm glad to give him a bit more fun. Anything else before I go? Yes, hopefully that Redbubble shop will be this week. I know it's become the new thing that I go, that'll be soon. I still haven't had any official time off, so I'm thinking of at some point in the next couple of weeks maybe having a few days or an entire week off. Dun dun dun. Any new areas you're planning to branch out into, and also apparently Metacam tastes nice. Yes, the guinea pig's little egg was a full-on Metacam addict, so I should probably not admit this on the video. I did try a little bit to see, because she had two drugs. One was she'd go, and the other one she was very much enjoying. So I did have just a very, very tiny amount, and I can confirm that Metacam is very nice. I only had a little bit. I wasn't a Metacam addict. Sorry, I've skimmed past. New areas you're planning to branch into? Yes, I do. There's a lot. There's so much that I definitely want to do. At the moment, I'm still focusing on just little releases to add to the ranges we've already got, because I just don't have that budget to really spread, and I don't want to spread too thin, which is always a bit of self-restraint I've got to do, because I'll see something and go, oh, let's do all of that. Oh, let's do all of that. But I want to get some more loving on the existing sort of sub-ranges, so that's what will be happening. We will be expanding the World War II to Germany, which I spoke about quite a lot. I've got some incredible books that has been so hard to get hold of, but not after a Soviet expansion, and I'd like the Soviet expansion to be quite large. And I will be doing Night Witches. I get asked every day, I'm like, they're coming. Right, so thank you very, very much, and thanks for coming along. Give the video a like if you haven't, because that helps me out. And yeah, I might just watch a film. I got hold of The Lighthouse, which I kind of want to watch. Maybe I'll do that and eat some cucumber. As much as I really, really want to eat some junk now. But I won't. I'll be good. Okie dokie. I don't even know what to press anymore. Here it is. Trackball. Just coming along, and see you around the internet. Bye.